as we transition through the end of 2021 into the new year, 2022, people start thinking about and beginning to make plans, particularly in the area of their finances, their financial future, their tax situation. And this is a conversation that we're going to be having on a weekly basis with my first guest, the founder of Tamara L. Mihail CPA LLC, Tammy Mihail. How are you doing?
Great, great. I'm so happy to be here.
Excellent. We are glad to have you. Now, one thing, the first thing that comes to my mind, Tammy, when we talk about tax planning, tax preparation, and all of that is, I'm saying, well, now wait a minute. I already filed my taxes back in April. I mean, maybe I even got a little refund or something or whatever. I mean, I'm good. Why should we be talking now?
Well, it's really good to come and see me because there could be something different we could do on your tax return to help save on your tax liability.
I see. So during December, my focus as a person should be tax planning, or can you also go back and look at previous returns and maybe make adjustments?
We could possibly amend your return that you've already filed,
okay,
and possibly get a refund. For example, there was a client that came in this year that they filed their own 1040 and they got a refund about $234. And by the time I was done, they were getting a refund of a little over $11,000.
Wait a minute. Let me see if I have this straight. You worked with a client. When they started with you, they were down. They were in the hole to the IRS a couple $100. And by the time you were done working with them, they were up over $11,000? Okay, well now wait a minute. Somebody just heard that and said, how do I get in touch with this lady? So how do we get in touch? We're going to continue to talk about how does somebody get in touch with you, Tammy? Best way.
Well, best way, we have our office phone number, which is 281-406-8984. And then my email is Tammy, Tammy, at mihailcpa.com, which is mihailcpa.com. And you can contact us through our website, which is www.mihailcpa.com.
Okay, so now for those of you whose ears just perked up when you heard the 11,000, that's how you get in touch with Tammy right now.
Well, that won't happen for everybody, but they had lots of things going on that we were able to work with.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I'm sure there are a lot of people you work with that where you're able to find those kind of situations, find those kind of openings for them, if you like, where they can end up paying less tax, maybe paying no tax at all, maybe end up with a refund. I'm going to guess that a lot of the people that you talk with simply don't know what kind of options they have.
Well, you don't know what you don't know. So
exactly.
That's why you need to come see me. I do training all year long. I keep up on the tax rules and laws and all the changes that are happening. So, I'm your go-to girl. So.
There you go. There you go. So it's becoming more and more clear to me how important it is to sit down with a tax professional like yourself, especially right now.
As things are changing.
At the end of the year, as things are changing, as policies from Washington and Austin are changing.
Continuously.
And so you and your firm will be up on all of those changes. I imagine that's why you would say it's absolutely critical for someone, really, really important for someone to sit down with you as soon as possible.
Businesses right now, especially businesses right now, have become close to the year end. Now's the time for them to be having their books in order, so we can know what we can do, what strategies we can take to lower their tax liability, because most of the stuff we need to do is before December 31st.
And private contractors, professionals, people who would typically receive, say, a 1099 at the end of the year, I imagine there's some work you've got to do with them.
Definitely. We need to look and see if there's any expenses or deductions, depreciation, anything that we can do for them too.
Okay. And you said, now as a business owner, this is a great time. Now, for myself, let's say as a contractor, I'm going to get a 1099 and all of that. Now for the larger business owners, you do tax planning as well, yes,
Yes.
kind of helping people prepare.
Tax planning for partnerships and S corps and C corporations.
Oh,
So for
okay.
larger, we have manufacturers, lots of different types of industries that we do tax planning for, realtors, lots of different industries.
Okay.
So this is the time for them to look at their overall picture and decide what we need to do, maybe set up a pension or buy new assets or what we can do to minimize their tax liability.
I see. I understand. Okay. Now, once again, Mihail,
Mihail,
Mihail.com.
MihailCPA.com.
MihailCPA. M-I-H-A-I-L. MihailCPA.com.
Right.
And it's Tammy at MihailCPA.com. Very good. And that phone number again where we can reach you?
281-406-8984.
Very good. Now, we've talked about business, we've talked about tax. Now let's talk a little bit about Tammy.
About me?
Yes. So I'm always curious for business owners, entrepreneurs like yourself, how you got started. Maybe where it's a little bit of your background, where you, how you ended up in the tax chair.
Oh, well, well, out of college, I started at a local CPA firm, and I was there for, about 4 or 5 years. And I thought I wanted to do industry, so I went to work for a drilling company for a little while. And then I thought, well, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Went back to public accounting, and then I went to work for a law firm in their tax department,
Okay.
and then went back to public accounting. And so when I started, jumping firms, I ended up with clients who followed me. And so at my last CPA firm, I had a good book of business, and so I said a prayer and took a leap of faith and started my own practice. And 7 years later, we're still in business, and things are rocking and rolling.
That's fantastic. It reminds me, a couple of things that you said remind me. A saying that I heard once said, leap and the net will appear.
Yes.
Now, that was the one. The other thing you said that I found really interesting, Tammy, was that you said when you moved from one firm to another, a substantial number of clients followed you.
Yeah, they followed me.
Now, that speaks to me of a person who is really, really good, not only at the details of your job, of your business, of tax planning, tax preparation. I imagine you had developed some pretty good relationships with those clients as well. Can you talk about
I've
that
had
a
some
little?
clients for 14, 15 years because they've come with me since the very beginning. So it's been really good. They're friends and family versus just clients. So.
That's really amazing. Now, I know that they didn't follow you just because you're a good CPA, which you
I'm sure
obviously,
it is. No.
but they followed you because they're still with you after all of these years, because you and they have developed this relationship of trust. Really, I know that in certain professions, medicine, the law, finances, there has to be that level of trust between you and your clients in order for the working relationship to grow. What sort of things have you done in your career to help foster and build those relationships? I'm sure you've done one or two things other than just doing the numbers.
I think they find most helpful is I'm available. When they need me, I answer the phone. They have my cell phone number. They can text me. They can reach me on the weekends when they have a tax emergency. They can reach me. So that's helped a lot because a lot of CPAs aren't available past 5 o'clock.
Wow.
They shut it off, and so that's been very helpful for them to be able to reach me.
That's right. You gotta like a CPA who answers her own phone.
Oh yeah, yes. We don't have a recording, so.
Oh, that is excellent. Now, that moment when you said the prayer and took the leap,
Yeah.
I am sure that there was someone that you had worked with, someone you'd come across and met across all of your different ventures, someone who may have sort of backed you, supported you, say, you know what, go for it, Tammy, you've got this. Who would you say kind of helped you get started taking that leap?
Myself.
Ah!
I'm a single mom, so I had to do it.
Gotcha.
I had to make it happen. There wasn't a fail option,
Oh.
so it had to work.
So see, I know who got you started. It's those two little kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
It
Tell me
was-
about your kids.
Well, they're grown now, so you know they're 30
Yeah,
and 25.
still your babies,
They're
right?
still always my babies. So yeah, so it had to happen. But you know, when I think back, though, I think back. Oh, in high school, I was in the DECA program.
Oh, yes.
And so we had to, you know, we worked and went to school, and you know, my teacher found me a job at the bank, and so my love of numbers started. You know, I really liked numbers, but she also taught us the whole class, but not just me, the whole class, how to do our first tax return
Wow.
on paper and pencil. And so,
Amazing.
you know, when I started college initially, I wasn't going to be a CPA, but you know, that started my love for doing taxes. So, you know, I eventually started that track of getting my business degree and
Interesting.
focusing on accounting.
Interesting that you can trace your love for the numbers, for the
Yeah.
accounting, all the way back to that DECA class.
Yeah, and my first algebra teacher too taught me word problems and took that
Ooh.
time to do that.
Nice, nice. And
Teachers are really important.
absolutely,
Yes.
agree. And you have taken everything that you learned and persevered, and now you've got clients that have been with you for 15 years.
Yeah,
Well
fantastic.
done, fantastic. Tammy, I am so looking forward to our continuing conversations. I know that many of our viewers are going to be maybe a little concerned about how to arrange their finance, arrange their tax situation for the coming year, and I'm looking forward to having you help our clients find their way. Thanks so much for swinging by, and we'll be seeing you again next week, Tammy.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Absolutely, same here. We will be right back after these words.